213, right? Digital logic using HDL, and today is November 5th, 2024. So we are talking about sequence detector and sequence generator last time, and we practiced that also, right? Everything is fine, right? So we practiced one of the problem, and that was detecting 11011. So this was the solution, one of the solution which can give you the sequence as you want. We also learned that the remaining state also we need to think where it will go, or it has to be well thought on all the available states within the given flip-flops. If there are 3 flip-flops, in this case it was 3 flip-flops, so you cannot drop the remaining 3 states. You have to take care of all the states so that finite state machine will work as per the requirement, right? And yeah, so this was the solution for the surprise quiz which we are like gave it to you last time. Every uh, every state will not go back to A. You have to think about, sometimes it will go to C, sometimes it will go to B. So just to reduce the computation power, computation time, you need to make sure that the minimum number of states are being traveled, right? So that is the thing. I also thought about, like, there is one guy who met me, so please meet me one more time. So I'll explain you why this is the best solution. Okay, there was one guy I forgot. So he gave me one solution, and at that time I convinced that his solution was the best, but not, that is not the one. So please meet me after this. I'll explain him. Okay, so this was the thing, and using this you can assign some state name in terms of combination of 1 and 0 for the flip flop combination. So you can give something like all 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0, and remaining will go here, and accordingly you can find out the circuit using JK flip flop, or maybe D flip flop, T flip flop, whichever you like, or whichever has been asked to you to design your circuit. So that was the first thing, and I believe there is no doubt in that. Another was, let's assume that you have to generate same code 11010. Actually, sequence generator is pretty easier in that way, where 1 means generate and 0 means pause. So it's very easy. If you want to have that 11011, then you just start with, first is A, and you assume that the preset means it's set to 1, right? It's not resetted, but it's preset. So that's why we have kept here 1 over here. Output was 1 at the beginning. So with 0 it's pause, with 1 it's generating. When it's generating, its first state is 1, second one is 1, third is 0, this one is 1, and this one is again 1. So that makes 11011. And during the time when its actually output is input is 0, at that time it's retaining the previous state. So if it is here 1, then this will also remain 1. If this is 0, then this is 1, then this will be 1. If it is 0 in this case, then this will be 0. So on and so forth, you can keep that. And again, this requires, how many number of flip-flops are required in this case? 3 flip-flops are required, because 5 states are there. Each one of the state can be assigned with some code, right, whichever you like. So accordingly the answer will be there. If you are taking some different code, then answer will be different. So in that way the answer is not unique, right? It depending on how you are taking the code, but you have to take care of the remaining code. What will happen to that? All the remaining codes should also be assigned. Accordingly you can write down the state table where present state, next state, and the JK or maybe the flip-flops inputs will be there, and from there you can derive the inputs and you can draw the circuit, right? So that was the finite state machine, right? Right. So we did it, right? Any doubt in this? Because this. I'll send you the slides, okay? Then you can see that offline. Right? Okay, so next is the registers. So there are two different designs are there. One is synchronous and one is asynchronous. So synchronous is the one where the clock is common. All the flip-flops are running at the same time. There is no deviation in timing in the clock. We also understand there are two kinds of clocking systems are there. It's positive age triggered and negative age triggered. What I'm saying is about flip-flops. This is only true for flip-flop. For latch, those are the level sensitive. Either they are working at positive side or maybe negative side. Let's assume that there is a latch, if there is a D latch, and if it is drawn like this, then it means that whenever clock is high, the output will be there, right? Whatever D will be there, that will be transferred to the side, right? So that is latch. If it is drawn like this, it means that it's negative level sensitive. But in the case of D flip-flop, if this is the case, then it will become negative age triggered, means it will give the answer only at the negative age, right? It will capture that with consideration of setup time and hold time, right? So in ideal situation, it's going to consider whatever is happening at exactly at 0 time with respect to the negative age trigger, right? But in the case of reality, it has to taken care of this particular window, which is for the case of setup time and hold time, right? So that is how it has been calculated. So those things we have to consider in our design. Few more things are also there. All the advanced flip-flops have, so I'm writing D flip-flop, but so there are various pins are there, not only D, Q and Q bar and clock. It may have reset and it may have preset. Sometimes reset is also written with clear also, reset or clear, anything is written. So if clear is there, at that time Q will be 0 and Q bar will be 1. If preset is 1, means Q equal to 1 and Q bar equal to 0, right? So that is going to be happening over there, that you need to take into account. Different simulator will have different names. Some people are calling like in that place it was something written FD, right, in my simulation. So that was D flip-flop. With clear it was written FDC. So those are the notations from different simulators, so you do not worry about it. However, this is the general one, D flip-flop, with all the things are written like this, right? But clock has specifically, clock is drawn like this only, right? This is positive age triggered. If it is negative age triggered, it is like this, right? Okay. So synchronous is the one where all the clocks are common. Like if there are 100 flip-flops are there, Then also all flip-flops will have common clock. They are controlled by only in one clock. It has lots of disadvantage also. However, synchronous is the one which is used in many places. But some places we are using asynchronous to make the situation lighter in terms of low power consumption and having the output when we want it, or to have the better time complexity. So for that we are using asynchronous, right? We will take one or two designs on asynchronous also, but before that let's complete synchronous. And okay, so there is no problem flip flop having text. Okay, but in the case of asynchronous, which is the second case which is written over here, that different clock signals are derived from flip-flops or maybe combinational logic, and then it has been given to different flip-flops separately, like like this. They are not tied together. I'm just giving some example. Something like this. So all the clocks are derived from some condition. If something is arrived then and then something is going to happen. This kind of design is known as the asynchronous. Other one was synchronous. Okay, there is like other than uh, like synchronous design of counter, we studied that synchronous counter, right? Synchronous up counter we have studied. We also have studied down counter, but that was the design of let me find it. So we studied this using finite state machine. Whenever you are deriving anything finite state machine, and whatever we have studied, that design is always synchronous. Okay, all the FSM which we have studied till now, they were synchronous design only. In your syllabus, there is no asynchronous based FSM design is there, so it is not covered. But in future, you might study in automata theory, where you need to derive that, and through FSM you can have the asynchronous design also. So that is possible. But so it's not going through the finite state machine design. We are going through some observation. By the way, ripple counter is the one where there is you can observe something, and through that you can understand the name came from this observation. If you look at the 4-bit up counter, look at the every time the last bit is actually getting change, or it's always giving the ripple. If you draw that, right, it's oscillating. So that's why like it's 0 1 0 1 0 1. This is one thing. If I want to generate this 0 1 0 1 0 1, if I'm asking you to design something which is going to give me always oscillating output, how to do that? How to do that? If this is the question. There are many ways are there. Using flip-flops, how to do that? Hmm.
Using race around condition.
Yeah, that's also correct answer. So JK flip-flop, J and K both are connected to 1, then it's going to give me the output, right? It's oscillating one. That's correct answer. Other one, using T flip-flop, right? So using T flip-flop, using JK flip-flop, where JK both are tied together, right? So that's, so any of the way we can do it, but we'll choose T. T is easier, and to make the T flip-flop, you use D flip-flop because D is the most popular one, and the technique is as follows. right? So every time if there is a clock, the output is actually toggling with the clock, right? So this is the one way. By the way, what JK was given, that does not require any kind of clock. Even without clock, you can have continuously 1010, and depending on the critical path, gates gate delay, you can have the frequency of operation, right? So that way we can design it, but we'll choose this one. So T has been designed from T has been designed from D flip flop. So this way you can have A1 for a given clock, right? A1 is generated very easy. Now also we also learn that whenever there is 0 to 1, this is going to happen. Same way, if I want to design when this is going from 0 to 1, then also this particular diagram is true, right? You agree with this one? The only thing is the oscillations will start when there is negative edge. So when there is a negative edge, this is going to become 0 to 1, so 1 to 0, and so on and so forth, right? Of course, the oscillation frequency will be half between these two. If you look at the frequency of operation, that will be half exactly, right? It's not, if this is running at 1 gigahertz, then this will be running at 500 megahertz, right? So this is one thing we need to understand. Accordingly, you can make different clock generation. If you want to design, let's say, a circuit which is going to give you divide by 4 frequency, how can we design it? Divide by 4. How to make divide by 4? Input is something, let's say 1 giga. I want to have 250 megahertz. How to get it?
TFS and series.
Yeah, right. 2 flip flops, D flip flops, cascaded, will give you 250 megahertz, right? So that was one of the project which I rejected, right? The reason was that one. It requires only 2 to 3 flip flops, and it's not going to justify the whole semester, right? That was the reason. So this is the thing. So A1 is generated. Same way can we look at A2. When A2 is toggling to 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, it is toggling from 1 to 0 or 0 to 1 when, so this one is happening when A1 is going from 1 to 0. Whenever A1 is going from 1 to 0, then A2 toggles, right? So by this observation, if you are designing an asynchronous design, can we do that whatever we have generated, give it to the next D flip flop as a clock, making it negative edge triggered. Look at this, it is going from 1 to 0. Whenever it's going from 1 to 0, then this should toggle, right? Now this clock is derived from the previous flip flop. So this design is not synchronous. This is asynchronous design, and it requires only 4 flip flops right now, because we have to design it for only for 4. Now look at the third one and observe it. You will understand that third one is also changing when A2 goes from 1 to 0, right? When A2 goes from 1 to 0, and you can look at all different condition till 16, right? You will see that whenever it's changing from 1 to 0, actually then A through gets toggled, right? Same way, we can keep the same circuit and you can proceed further. You can see that next bit is also changing when it's going from 1 to 0, right? So this is the solution you can see here, which is copied from the book. That book has used reset also, you can see here. So whenever I want to start my counting, first I want to keep all 0, right? If I want to keep all 0, then reset should be 0 over here because it's a negative logic. Bubble is there, so it requires 0 to be there to make A0, A1, A2 to be 0. All will be 0 at a time, right? Then you have to release this. When this will become 1, then and then you can start the counting. When you are starting the counting, at the start of counting, it's going from 1 to 0 because this is also negative age triggered. So 1 to 0, then whatever is available over here, that will be toggled. Start counting 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, and whenever it goes from 1 to 0, next is getting toggled. And same is for A1, A2, A3, and so on and so forth. So you can keep more flip-flops also if you want to have, let's say, 8 bits, 16 bits, 32 bits, or maybe more, right? So that is the up counting. Same way you can have the down counting also. You can check that and you can make the down counting with starting with the preset. Let's say if you are using here preset and preset to be 1, so all will be 1, and you start with that and you make it down count, right? Okay, so that was the thing. Same way, if you want to have the BCD up counter, just you have to make one. Sorry. Hmm. Why? Because if you want to have the down counter, what first count do you want to have? All 1, right? How to make all 1 at the beginning? All A0, A1, A2, and A3 all have to be 1 at the same time. How to make sure that you can have the same observation in BCD also, but it's going from 0 to 9 only 0 to 9. Remaining states are not there, right? It's not going to happen. So what we have to do, whenever there is 1 0 0 1, you have to have reset signal. So what exactly it means, if you have 4 flip-flops, 4 flip-flops, now this reset button has to be in control of these outputs, right? Of course, in that case you need to use one preset also, right? Preset will be for like get rid of electrostatic charge and thing, but for reset there, then this is acting like if you have seen the speedometer, generally this is again the older one. I don't know still it is there or not in scooty and bike and all. Is it there? Like it's rotating, there is a strips are there going from, so this is speedometer, I'm saying speedometer. So some strips are there at the back, it's keep on increasing, rotating. Is it same or different? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. Hmm? How is that? There are many who are driving, right? Still it is there like this or digital now. Hmm? Shashwat, you have same digital. Okay, so in older one it was like this, right? So how it was counting? It is based on it's very popular by Ziegler Muller, who designed this, the first one, German guy who did this long back. So how this counting is happening? Just look at that. So when you are changing this, it's going from 0 to 9. Once it is reaching 0 to 9 and making the transition from 9 to 0, then this will make the transition next guy to the next one. So same way, like this is going from 9 to 0, then this will change. When this goes from 9 to 0, this will change. Whenever this is 9 to 0, next to it will change, right? So this is for decimal counting. But when we are talking about BCD, which is binary coded decimal, that is also kind of decimal only. So what this counting is doing, you have to go till 1001. So this is just a representation of the whole thing. This dot is not only from here, it's actually from all four together, right? In book it has been taken only from one place, however it's actually taken from all four places, and whenever it reaches 1001, next increment will happen in this particular counter. So that is what this BCD counter does, right? And that is how the BCD 3 decade counter, maybe you can make more also. Okay, nobody asked me the fundamental thing. What is the register? That was the title of the topic, right? So register are also like a flip-flops only, combination of flip-flops which can memorize, right, or latch the input, latch the output, whatever we want, whatever way we want, whatever the sequence we want, we can design it. But it's more than one flip-flop is used. All are categorized under register. Even sequence detector, sequence generator, all are registers, right? So whatever we have studied, either synchronous, asynchronous, all are registers, right? Next is shift register. It's also very popular. You want to shift either left side or maybe right side, which is used in mostly in microprocessor designs, where shift register is playing important role in many instructions. Right? You are studying instructions, or you studied or no? You are studying right now. So in that there might be some instruction also, which is shifting operation is used. Even using shifting, you can make multiply. You can make many operation. Arithmetic operations are possible with shift register. So that's why shift register plays important role. And shift register is actually having register which can store 1 bit information at a time, and it moves further either in right side or maybe left side. Whole thing is happening serially. I believe we all understand serially, right? Do we understand? Sakina, what do you think? What is serial? Serial register and parallel. Hmm? Yes or no? No? Okay. Who, who understands serial register, serial link? Vidhan.
एक सीरीज में होगा तो सही
Hmm.
मेरा मतलब एक रजिस्टर के में
Let's talk in technical language.
अगर एक रजिस्टर है उसके एंड पे दूसरा रजिस्टर डायरेक्ट कट हो जाएगा मतलब सीरीज में जाएगा
That is cascade. Cascade of connection.
तो वो सीरीज
No.
serial connection
Using even Dev.
Serial inputs comes one after the other, whereas in parallel they come together only. Parallel.
Yeah. So serial, let's say if it is 8 bit, It is like single line, same line is giving you the serial output one by one, one by one. If it is, let's say, 32 bits of input sent by, let's say, Dev to me, so 32 bits means I have to wait for 32 clock cycles. If it is coming in parallel, it's coming in next clock cycle to me. All 32 bits are available to me directly. That's called parallel. So there are two way of communication, serial and parallel. So we are talking about serial. So this is serial shift register where only one line is there where it's shifting left to right and right to left. You have to wait for n bits. If there are 4 bits of 4 bit shift register, means you have to wait for 4 clock cycles. After 4 clock cycles only, you can have the either shifting of right side or maybe left side. Till that time, you cannot have the complete result. Right? Okay, so it's very simple. Now look at this: serial in and parallel out. So what should be the meaning of that, Sakina? Serial in, parallel out. That is the name of this shift register, which is of 4 bit. What should be the meaning of that? Serial in and parallel out. So input is going, serially input is going serially, one by one, bit by bit, and output coming sequence of something like this. If it is 4 bit, I'm giving 1001. Let's say this is what I am giving every clock cycle when it's going from 1 to 0. If this clock is 1 gigahertz, what do you think at what time I should look at the output? The correct output. After 4 cycles, I need to see the output, and if it is 1 giga, at what will be the frequency in your opinion? At what time? When I am saying time, you have to count this in time.
4 microseconds.
4 microsecond.
Sorry, nanosecond.
4 nanosecond. Why 4 nanoseconds?
250 microseconds.
No, time, not, 250 microseconds. Okay. So after 250 microseconds, you can see the output, right? Even if you want to see the parallel output, you need to see only after 4 clock cycles only, right? So you have to wait for 4 clock cycles. Right. By the way, this particular thing is known as the latency. It is late by 4 clock cycles. The latency of this output, or the difference between input and output in this pipeline structure, it's 4. That's why it's a latency, or this is not delay. This is not known as delay. This is known as latency. Okay. Parallel output, right? It has both the outputs, by the way. It has serial output as well as parallel output. If you are taking output from here, then serial output. If you are taking from here, then it's parallel output, right? So both the circuits are there. Both the things are there.
Sir,
Hmm.
बीच में output का कोई use नहीं होगा. Parallel वाला output.
Now, if you want to take parallel output together, look here, it's only one line. There are 4 lines.
एक complete होगा उसके बाद ही दूसरे में जाएगा. Parallelly एक साथ इस वाले में तो एक आंसर नहीं आएगा.
Yeah, you're right. So then, what we need to do? You can use here one more resistor. But here you need 4 registers. When I am writing registers, it referred to flip-flop. Sorry, I made it reverse. It has to be 4 here. Four are required.
लास्ट वाले में
Last वाला भी चाहिए, right? You require that. Right? If you are taking one more clock, then 4 are required here. If you don't want this one, then also fine.
लास्ट वाले में अगर एक भी रजिस्टर नहीं रखेंगे तो मतलब
Then also fine. Anyway is fine. Hmm? Okay. Let's go this way. Let's erase all this and let's run with the time. Okay. So you fed 1001, right? So this one, let's go this way. So I fed 1. After 1 clock cycle, 1 is available here. Do you agree? Next is 0. So then this will go here. And this 0 is coming here. Next clock cycle, 1. So this will become 101. Next clock cycle, let's say 1. Then will become 1011. Right? But if you are waiting for serial output, let's say, all of these have to be transferred that side. That will take more number of cycles, right? So in that case, you have to wait for 3 more clock cycles. But in that case, what will happen? All these will be corrupted. You cannot take the parallel output. If you want parallel also. That's why we were taking the parallel output through remembering this state. So what I am doing, so here the first one, second, third and fourth. So at the first time it was 1011 was available, right? This one, in reality, when we are going to check the serial output, it will be 1011, right? It will come after some time, that we need to take it. But when we are doing this, at that time, if we take the output directly, then right now it's visible 1011. But after the next cycle, this will become maybe if nothing is given, then it might stay 1 only. This 1 is transferred here. This will become 1, all 1 1. So parallelly you are reading all 1 1 then. So to make it correct 1 only, what I am doing, I remember this 1, I remember 0 also. So I keep it in one register, which is actually D flip-flop. Again, whatever is available here, it will go to the next side. So this is D flip-flop, Q output, and with same clock which was here, same clock. It's an asynchronous design. So keep it here. So now it's remembered by this flip-flop. It will be here 1. But in case if I want to read the previous one, so serial in might be 100 bit long or maybe continuous in time. So I need to remember the previous one also, right? Even though I am remembering it 4 bits at a time, but there are multiple bits are there, right? So in that case, what I need to take care, if next input is coming, if it is 0, this 1 will be erased. Then 0 will come here. Then again this got erased. So I need same number of flip-flops, as many number of flip-flops are available in critical path. So I add 4 flip-flops over here to remember 4 different things. Here I need 3, here I need 2, and here I need 1, right? So because this is coming continuously, so next clock cycle when this is going to change, it will not be erased, it will be remembered somewhere, and here whatever data is coming, I am just taking it out. So this is parallel out serially, and both the things are available simultaneously, serial output as well as parallel output, and this is a synchronous design. And one more correction, it does not require only 4 clock cycles, it requires actually 7 clock cycles, right? It does not require 4, it requires 7 clock cycles. After 4, the first one is reaching at the output, not all 4. For all 4, it requires 7 clock cycles. 3 more clock cycles are required to transfer this 1011 to serial out. But after 4 clock cycles, you can have this parallel output. You can have the parallel output. That is correct, right? Okay. Now again, parallel in, parallel output. So we are giving parallel input together, and parallelly we take the output. So how we can take it? It's very simple one over here. 4 flip-flops. If there are 4 bits of parallel and parallel output, 4 flip-flops are there. Whatever input you are giving over here, same output with half the frequency, right? It's a synchronous design. I'm taking same thing at the output, so parallelly in and parallelly output. There is not much difficulty in this. It's very simple, right? Okay, so now let's look at the last one, which is universal shift register. Universal means it can take any of the way, right or left, right or left. Okay, we understand the functionality of 4x1 mux, right? We understand? Do we understand, right? Okay, how it works? Bansi, right? So tell me, how 4x1 mux work? Four bit input, 1 output, and 2 raised to n selection lines. So 2 selection lines. Then how it works? If 0 0 is fed to the selection line, what will happen to the output? Okay, so do not forget this ever. This 4x1 mux is also, mux is actually universal gate kind of thing. It is used everywhere. So do not forget that. So we know that n bit, sorry, 2 raised to n input, n selection line, for the case of 2 raised to n cross 1 mux and 1 output. It works as follows. If it is 4 cross 1 mux, if you are feeding 0 0, let's call this one S0 and S1. If you are feeding 0 0, then the 0th line will be selected and it will go to the output. If it is 0 1, first line will be selected, it will be connected to the output. If it is 1 0 and 1 1, so on and so forth, right? So here there are 2 selection lines, S1 S0, same is here, same is here, and same is here. That is how it has been drawn. Same S1 and S0 are simultaneously connected to all the 4 cross 1 mux. right? So now depending on following things, 0 0, let's assume that we are giving 0 0. If we are giving 0 0 means 0th input will be selected and it will be connected to the output, whatever 0th is there. So let's assume that A3, A2 and A1 are 1 0 1 0, something like this. This was the previous state. So in that case, 1 is coming here, 1 is going out. In this case, 0 is going out. In this case, 1 is going out. In this case, 0 is going out of the mux. 1 is fed over here. On the next clock cycle, when it's going positive age triggered, like positive age of clock, this 1 is going to be transferred at A3. Same is going to happen here. 0 is transferred over here, 1 is transferred over here, and 0 is transferred over here. And for infinite time, you just check, it's not changing the output at all, right? So that's why it is written over here. When you are going to give 0 0, there is no change. It will latch the previous output, right? Now let's look at the condition when 0 1 is there. This is 0 and 1. So what will happen? Once see which input will be selected? The first one, right? So on first, I am giving some input here. Just look at that carefully. So if I am feeding here 1, right? So this one, let's feed 0. So separate different value than previous one. So this is 0 over here, right? After 1 clock cycle, this will become 0, and that 0 is coming here, which is going on 0th position as well as first position. You can see after few propagation delay, this 0 is going here and this will be shifted. After 1 clock cycle, it is traveling here. But at the same time, if you look at the previous one, on all these clock cycles, we are feeding data over here as well. We are changing the data here also. Maybe we change to 1. This 1 will be changed to here. This will change to 1. And this will feed with 1. So whatever data you are feeding, it's actually shifting in right direction. Right? Whatever data you are feeding here, it's shifting in right direction. Right? So that is what the meaning of shift register. So it's shifting the data. If you look at that, so this one is going here, it's fed over here also, one is going here. So it's traveling from this end to this end. After 4 clock cycles, you can have the data, the first data which you sent it here, it will be here. Same way, like if you want to have 4 data, just you give that 4 data. After 7 clock cycles, you can have serially output, right? And parallelly, it is coming after 4 clock cycles. So those are available after 4 clock cycles, whatever you are feeding here, right? Now let's look at the other condition and let's keep the last data whatever we assume it. Okay. So let's assume that right now 1110, that's the data available in A3, A2, A1, A0, and now I'm changing this to 10, right? If it is 10, then what's going to happen? Which input has to be selected? 2 number, right? So 2 number is here. Whatever is available at 2, that will transfer to the output, and later on whatever available at D, it will go to A3, A2, A1 and A0 depending on the positive age of the clock, right? So in that case, at that time, whatever you are applying here, whatever you are applying, it's not going to be transferred. So this becomes, just irrelevant to us. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to feed, you feed. It's not going to be selected. But whatever we are going to feed over here, because this is connected to number 2. Let us assume that I have given 1 over here. So 1 is available here. 1 went this side. So the value has been flipped. This 1 is traveling to the next 2 number. That goes here. This 1 came here. This 1 traveling here. This one goes here. This one goes here. And it traveling to 2. And this is 1. So shifting this side. And when this traveling is happening, at that time you are sending maybe some data that is changing with every clock cycle. So that makes shift left. Now look at the situation when it's 1 1. So when it's 1 1, what's going to happen? Let's look at that. So if it is 1 1, I'm supposed to select whatever is available at 3 number input, that will go to the output. So just look at the 3 number input, what is available. So 3 number input, I am giving some parallel input which is available with me, I0, I1, I2, I3. So whatever I am feeding here, let's say 1 0, 1 1 like this. So that will be transferred over here, and same will be transferred other side after 1 clock cycle, right? The parallel output is available after 1 clock cycle, because propagation delay of mux plus propagation delay of clock. This is propagation delay of clock is setup time, hold time, and other things, plus propagation delay of flip flop.